So, who came up with the method that you're talking about as far as reading the Bible between the lines? Is that your method?
I've studied all religions.
Really?
Yes.
All of them?
Mormonism, Satanism, paganism, all of them.
Yes.
Practice Judaism too.
Do you think God knows about all those religions?
Well, if you look at them, there's bits and pieces that all match up. That are
Because
very similar.
they're you know what they are? They're all basically there are elements of truth within these religions, because if there was not, they wouldn't have any followers. But those elements of truth come from Christianity. To the extent that they line up with Christianity, they'll have followers. You see? Because Christianity is true. So for instance, and it doesn't mean they're true, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean all those religions are true. A half-truth is still a lie, it's still false. But that's what they're doing. They're basically spin-offs of the one true religion, which is Christianity. And the reason I say that is because God has spoken to us in the Bible about who He is, about what we must do to be saved. In other words, it's a revelation from God. Because I agree with you, man. If it was up to us, the human being, to figure out how can we be right with God, there's no way, because we do have limited knowledge. We do make mistakes.
I found stuff like the 7 Hermetic Principles, real basic concepts on generally on how to be a decent human being.
And how are you doing on that? Are you a decent human being?
Well, whatever you put out, you get back. So you put out negativity, you end up getting it back.
Are you a pretty decent human being, though? I'm just wondering.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess you've never told a lie in your life.
Yeah, and I find out what happens for it.
So you have told a lie
I
in
got
your
my
life.
ass whooped.
So you only lied once?
Yeah.
One time?
It only takes once. I've always been a man to learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, but you've only lied one time in your whole life?
I think I haven't.
So that's another lie, huh? Right? So
that's what I'm saying.
doesn't sound like you're a decent human being, man. Decent human beings don't lie, because when you lie, who do you lie to? Humans.
No. Might not necessarily be humans. Ever heard of projection?
You lie to dogs? You lie to aliens or what?
No.
Astral projection?
No. Not astral projection. Astral projection in terms of emotions and outwardly behavior that you wouldn't normally pick up on.
But I'm talking about lying. I'm talking about verbal propositions to human beings that are untrue.
All of your sins, you name it. Pornography.
You don't do that to dogs, you always lie to humans.
Stealing.
So how can you be a decent human being if you
The 10 Commandments
essentially harm human beings by lying to them?
each and every one of us. The 10 Commandments, the law of
That's
God.
why, and that's the thing, the beauty of the Bible is that it speaks so truthfully about man.
So, okay.
It says that your heart is deceitful above all things.
I like where you went with
All of
this.
us are
I'm wondering,
guilty
okay.
of breaking the law.
You got
And
kids?
since
I do.
we are guilty
Okay.
of breaking the law, we deserve punishment. We deserve
Would
hell.
you tell
We deserve to
your
be
child,
judged. But Christ came on a rescue
half truth,
mission
just to protect them?
2,000 years ago.
What's up, man? Good to see you, dude.
Now, he
or would you
commands
just tell them the
all
full
men
truth?
everywhere to repent.
No, I wouldn't.
And
No, a lie's a
be
lie,
damned
man.
where-
A lie's a
be damned where
lie.
the chips may fall.
Every single day.
But the kind of lie that you're talking about is usually not the kind of lies that we tell to humans. Let's be honest.
3 people died.
Well,
every
We usually lie to
day.
protect ourselves,
And all
not
of them
the other
are
human.
giving account to God.
We don't lie hardly
Repent
ever
from
do we
your
lie to
sins
protect that person. We
and
usually
come
lie
to
to
the
protect
cross
ourselves.
of
Never taking into
Jesus
consideration
Christ.
this will
Don't
not just be
fall
a prison.
into this trap of
define
the
prison. What do you mean?
illusion That you're just merely a monkey. Don't fall for that trap and say, well, I'm good. I don't believe in God. I don't
We
believe in that. I
aren't
don't need that
complete.
thing. I don't need that thing.
We're missing something.
Don't fall
We're
for
missing
that
a lot of
trap.
things, actually.
Repent
What are you missing?
from your sins and come to the cross of Jesus Christ.
Every
Jesus
human
Christ
being is
declared
capable of
on
extreme
John
good and
14,
extreme evil.
Verse 6. I am the way.
I wouldn't say extreme
the
good,
truth, and the
but I
life.
agree that human beings, every human being is very. I'm glad you see that. No, you're right.
No
Human
one
beings are
the
capable.
Holy
To
Wars.
the Father.
The what?
Holy Wars.
Yeah.
Not a pastor,
Extreme evil.
not a preacher, not
Well,
me.
so the Holocaust, so is abortion.
Except the fact that everyone is
Only the
capable
only
of
Son of
Good.
God,
Some, well,
Jesus
yeah, exactly. No, I agree,
Christ,
100%.
not all
Right.
are.
to the Father.
And
He's
that's
the
But
only
here's the
one
thing: within
who
every
can
human being,
resurrect you
their
from your
principle
dead, who can resurrect you
by
from your
nature is
sins.
evil. So even when they do good things, if they do it apart from Christ, if they don't do it for the glory of God, it's still evil. It's still sinful because they're doing it to get something from it for themselves. That's sinful. They're not doing it for the right reason. See, God's created us so that we would live and do everything for Him and His glory. That's why God created us, so that we would live for Him, love Him, enjoy Him. And to the extent that we don't do that, we get over here because the reason. To the extent that we don't do that, though, I mean, that's why everything that's done without faith is sin. So I don't care how good of so-called good of a person you are, if you're not living for God, you're violating the greatest commandment, which is to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And therefore, it's not good at all. It's actually a sin. Because, and the thing is, my man,
kind of funny is, in order to love somebody else, you got to be able to love yourself, flaws and all, and understand how you were created.
Well, in order to love someone else, you have to love God. See, that's the way God's created it. It's funny because a lot of times as humans, we think that we are the ones who determine reality. That's a lie.
Reality is perception.
But who? No.
Time
In a
is
sense,
the byproduct of gravity.
in a sense, yes. But it's God who has ordained all of these things to make that the case.
Well,
This is God's
who's
universe.
Who's to say that this God that we're praying to isn't?
Well, who's?
vengeful
Wait a
and
minute.
just-
This God,
Because
we
in the
pray. I
Bible,
mean,
it
who's
says
we? You don't pray to that God.
Humanity. We don't know that.
Of course I do. Yeah, because the scriptures tell us about it, man. God Himself has spoken about these things.
But we go back to my original
We don't have to guess.
statement. Man is fallible.
Exactly, but God is not.
What
That's
is that?
why He has given us a Bible.
We are made in His image, no?
Yes, we are. Yeah,
Therefore, does that make God fallible?
absolutely not. What does it mean to be made in God's image?
Just like Him.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
In it,
No, it
whatever.
doesn't. No, it means that we are God's representatives on earth. But that image that God has created us in has been shattered. It's been ruptured. So that now we are made to live for the Creator, and yet we don't do that. No, that's what it means.
There's a whole lot more to this world, and unfortunately, Christianity cannot leave it. If it does, it is doomed.
Amen. Because Christianity is the true religion.
No.
Of course it is.
As a whole, it's about love.
What's about love?
Christianity as a whole, it's about love.
No, it's not. It's about Christ.
No, you got to read between the lines. It's about love.
Okay, what
Caring,
chapter and
compassion
verse?
for yourself and others around you.
My friend, that's not at all what Christianity is
Critical
about.
thinking, sir. Critical thinking.
No. That's not what Christianity is about. Don't try to apply your flawed hermeneutic to the Bible just because it pleases your sin more.
No.
That's not the what.
It has a lemming mentality to it if you go without critically thinking. What is it that your creator or my creator or whoever's creator created us for? We all
Himself.
have a purpose.
He created us for Himself. He didn't create you for you. He created you to love Him and to live for Him.
That kind of sounds like a dictator.
No, it sounds like the God of the universe who's sovereign,
No.
who's not your puppet like you want Him to be. So you want God to be your puppet. You want Him to be your slave, to be
Who's to say that we're not the puppet?
well, we are the puppet. That's what I'm saying. You're God's puppet. You're called to live in a certain way. Now you are,
See,
like you
something-
have, man. You're living outside of what you're doing is you're using, because you're enslaved to sin. See, when I
What
say
sin
you're,
is that?
what's it? Well, you told me earlier you're a decent person, but we found out you're not. The reason you're opposed to God, my man, is because you love sin and you don't want to give
all
that
I
sin
said, I
up.
would like to think I'm a decent person.
Yeah, but you're not.
I never said I was a decent person.
Okay. But that's the thing. So you're enslaved to this sin.
Perception, sir.
No, it's sin.
Because what you might see is, well, you're not a decent human being. Others might think otherwise.
But they're not the judge, and I'm not the judge. God's the judge.
Judge not lest you be judged yourself. It
No,
sounds
judge
like
with
you're
righteous
going to-
judgment, John 7:24. Judge with righteous
So
judgment.
what gives you that righteous judgment to judge me? That I'm
Paul
not
has said that as Christians, we judge all things.
Paul,
1 Corinthians.
his original name was Saul.
Saul, yeah, but he was
Yes.
converted, and God gave him the name Paul. Right.
I appreciate your time, brother.
That's it.
I just don't want to hurt your feelings because
Oh, you're not going to hurt my feelings, I promise.
this is.
You're trying to play word games to excuse your sin, though, sir.
No.
You're trying to play word games to excuse your sin, rather than looking at it straight for what it is and saying, listen, I am a rebel of God, and I need His forgiveness. What should I do, therefore? And the Bible says, come to Christ.
All right, let's sit down and actually sometime
Yeah.
and actually get to know me.
Sure.
And actually find out I'm not that bad.
Well, you are that bad.
Contrary-
You're worse.
contrary to what
I
you
promise, the
think.
more I get to know you, you know what I'll find out? The worse you are.
until
No, I
this
prefer to let
very
people hang
same
themselves.
day.
No.
Why-
The reason I'm
why-
saying that, my man, is because
On the cross,
you were
will
born in
be with
sin.
me in paradise.
By nature, you're a rebel of
Today,
God, my
not
friend.
tomorrow, not
And you're at
next
war
week,
with God even now,
not
the way you're
next
speaking
month,
about Him,
not
the way you're
next
looking for
year.
excuses to run
Today-
away from Him,
Today,
Run away.
as
you
opposed to
will
look,
be with
you know,
me
call
in paradise.
a spade and say,
That is
I
the
am
greatest
not
news
right with God.
of
I'm
the
a sinner.
gospel.
That's what I'm
That
saying,
is
my
the
man.
greatest
I love to
news
talk to you,
of
though.
the Bible. And when Jesus Christ declared